everyone, in this video we're gonna get into Garten of Banban Zero's story and attempt to make it more clear. We start up in someone's perspective who wakes up in an unknown place without memory of his identity or a reason for ending up there. All that is clear is that you are part of something, except you don't know of what. The player is given multiple questions for a very interesting purpose, as every question is there to make sure that they have no memories of who you are nor where you are. It's as if someone was making sure you don't remember anything that happened before. But maybe that's how it is. Suddenly, we hear a knock on the door and you are demanded to move to the back of the room with your hands up. The doors open for you to see a young Banban behind them. At this time, the characters don't seem to have names yet, they are numbered thought. Banban turns out to be a caretaker of the entire garden. He seems rather nice as he welcomes us to the facility, introducing himself and even giving us a keychain that will carry our keycards.
You got your keycard already. You're gonna have plenty of those. Which means you'll be needing something to help you keep track of them. Here, take it, it's yours.
You don't really get to ask any questions before you are led into playroom. You meet Banbalina, who is another experiment, but she's quite off. She doesn't seem to like you nor trust anyone. She even marks your unwelcoming behavior by saying, "There is another one of you?" We are suggested to make friends by Banban with the small blobs. It looks like there are some sort of first phase experiments, oddly deformed and unfinished without any special shape given. The first one you meet is a GV creature obsessed with its treasure. The blobs weren't important enough to have numbers. He's being rude and doesn't want to let anyone near his treasure. Second one we see stuck up on some high-placed frame. He wants to come down, but he doesn't have trust for anyone to catch him. We watch Banban get into conversation, assuring the blob that he will catch him. The moment Blob jumped, Banban moves away and he doesn't help him, which causes the blob to land on a sharp cactus. We can take it as first alarming behavior of Banban, I would say. Inside of some igloo, we find another blob who needs help solving a puzzle. It's kinda upsetting how he was given a puzzle but he can never solve, as he has no hands. If solved enough times, the puzzle will open a chest which has an A+ paper inside.
Someone said something about her not liking dumb people before she placed me in here. I've been too scared to see what would happen if I left since. Help me solve this and we can split whatever's in these boxes by half. From what I can figure out, you're supposed to place the sphere in a certain order. An order that would allow the slider to go through them, from smallest to largest.
In order to get to another blob thought, you need to do parkour and climb up the ladders. As soon as you get inside the blue window, you meet another GV blob who struggles with another puzzle. The problem is just like the other blobs, he doesn't have hands, as scientists didn't care enough about the first experiments to give them ones. The prize is a guitar, which seems kinda cruel as the blob has no hands to play with. The blob thought offers us tires that will be helpful while creating the next friendship. If you take the tires to the boat near the treasure guarded by the GV blob, another blob will put them on, taking the boat to the treasure, and get closer to the other blob, slapping him. And unfortunately, the blob he hit dies, which makes him give up on the treasure. We open the treasure with the insides being Banbalina's bow. If you give her the bow and A+ test, she will become your friend too. Although Banban doesn't seem too happy about Banbalina becoming our friend. He kinda seems jealous, mentioning gifts he used to give her in the past. He wants to show us that he's in charge, so he comes up with idea of hide and seek.
Let's play hide and seek and see if you're just as good at finding them. No one ever finds me in hide and seek.
You play as a seeker and everything goes well. However, doors in corner of the room open and outside of the door appears Syringan, who takes one of the blobs, picking it up. After that, Banban tells you to hide and goes to have a secret conversation with Syringan.
The results are out. You're being replaced. We have to do something, and I might just know what exactly. I'll come by later and tell you everything. We won't get another chance, so it must be done tonight, or else they'll notice what I've altered. I've also nabbed that doctor's samples as promised. I am certain they'll drive away your issues. You'll be a new you. You can control it. I know you can. We can't be seen talking for much longer. You have to go now.
However, we can follow him and spy on him. Once Banban comes back, he comforts you and Banbalina, saying he's scared of Syringan.
This time, as I'm sure you saw. And as long as I'm around, I always will.
How many more of us will he snatch and take away? It's only a matter of time before it's my turn.
I'll make sure that never happens.
As we found out from the conversation, Syringan admitted everyone is gonna be replaced, which is forcing them to realize some plan of theirs tonight. We are told by Banban to go and hibernate in our room. After some sleep, we are awakened by him saying he has a surprise for us. Even though it all seems oddly suspicious, we proceed to follow Banban and follow him to the door that was locked before in Playcare. Heading there, we find Truffletooth, new oddly cute character who has a special ability to be used as flashlight, which we will need as we go to look for a red keycard that Banban lost. Once found, we attempt to use it to open the door. However, it doesn't open. Banban calls one of his friends to help and luckily the doors finally open. Behind it, we meet younger Nub whom Banban considers his best friend. We end up at the door that can only be opened if 5 people stand by it at the same time. Although Banban took only 4 so far, and Truffletooth doesn't even count himself cause he's too light. So we have to turn on lights in the room and find 2 more people. As we move through the laboratory, we find another room. Inside the room, we find young Peter Giggles, tied down to an operating table with green gas starting to fill the room, which we have to stop by solving a puzzle. After you manage to create enough circuit energy, you can turn off the gas, also getting the yellow keycard, which allows us to get the Giggle out of the restraints. Once free, he tells us a joke, but he seems quite odd. When the door opens, we meet Banban and Nub again. However, Giggle doesn't really seem happy to see Nub. Suddenly, younger Eyezs'Lores appears solving the issue of 5th person. So, with the problem solved, we move forward to the door that Banban wants us to open, as he says he has a surprise for the new guy, whom is us. Conversation with Giggles, who seems unsure about Banban's decision to open the door. He agrees to do it since you saved him, but he doesn't seem to want it. Before we open the door, Banban gives a speech. He asks the player to stand on the middle button as a surprise is meant for him. He seems sure that the player will love the surprise. Before we step on the button, it seems like Nub wants something from us, but he just hugs us, which seems odd. Once door opens, a scary creature comes out of it, Ramamba. As it jumps at us, we get saved by Nub who pushes us, sacrificing himself for us, and he gets swallowed by the monster. As Beetle Giggles and Eyezs'Lores chase after him, Banban seems hurt, but we run after our friends. As we run into a room, we finally find them, with a scary creature in front of them slowly making his way to our friends, eating them too. Before he notices us, Banban and Truffletooth tells us to run towards them as they stand near the doorway. Once we do, the floor under us breaks, making us all fall into a dark cavern and get hurt, but we know that the creature isn't far still, so we need to keep moving, with Banban deciding to split with us. He seems to focus on his own survival other than you and Truffletooth. We go down the tunnel with Truffletooth as flashlight. Suddenly we hear a boom in the distance and hear a mamba catching up to us at full speed. As we continue to run, we suddenly get to a dead end, but luckily enough we get saved by a demon form of Banban, who jumps in front of the monster holding his jaws open, which is very odd as Banban was ready to sacrifice us. After that we see Banban fight Ramamba as he manages to defeat the monster. The creature spits out our friends as Banban comes back to his normal self, realizing we are still there.
Maybe they're right about me. Or maybe they're not. Do you happen to be in the mood for another round of hide and seek? 17 is the seeker. Come with me. I'll show you the second best hiding spot I know of.
He then proceeds to ask us to play hide and seek. Even thought Peter Giggles is still unconscious and he claims that Peter Giggles is gonna seek. Then he walks us to a closet, telling us to hide until he's back.
After what happened today, I don't think there will be anybody out here looking for you, making this truly one of the best nights.
It turns out you have been playing as Flambo the entire time, and that's the information the game leaves us with. So that's it for today's video. If you'd like to see more videos with the game lores explained, hit that sub button, and with that, peace out.